and go to Atlantic deal. I went through your contract and I'm gonna break it down plain, no lawyer talk, so you can actually understand what's going on and what the power is. Contract overview. This is a deal between Atlantic Records Corporation, the label, Mob Ties Entertainment, artist company, artist Finesse2tymes, Ricky Hamilton. This is a recording deal. Profit share deal, not just a simple distribution. Exclusive deal, very important. The artist is locked in exclusively to Atlantic. Can't record for nobody else. Label controls all music during the contract. This is standard, but very restrictive. Length of contract. This is where labels win. Starts when deal is signed. First term until albums drop plus 10 months after. Then label has 3 options to extend. Meaning, label can keep him for up to 4 total periods.
Finesse2tymes just found out that he's in a slave deal with Mob Ties and Atlantic Records. And I guess because he gets millions of views and he gets all of these streams, right? And he realized that he's making way more money streaming than he is on his actual music. Finesse2tymes say, you know what? Let me go on ChatGPT and have them read my contract and see what kind of deal I'm in. And he found out he's in a 360 deal. For those that don't know, a 360 deal is basically a slave deal. It's literally the worst contract you could have in the music business. You know what I'm saying? Basically, your label owns everything. And if you try to do anything outside of music, like say Finesse2tymes like got like a brand endorsement deal with a clothing line, right? Or say he got a job, you know, doing acting, right? Atlantic Records and Mob Ties, they would make some money off of that. He doesn't own his masters. A majority of his music sales and album sales, all of that goes to the label, and he basically gets a split. So this is what Finesse2tymes had to say. He said, I can't believe y'all, bro. Y'all think this shit funny, but it's not. I moved off loyalty. I thought it was an honor to have Jay Prince, the old man, to be my manager. Y'all told me I didn't need a lawyer because all they do is F people over. Finesse2tymes, bro. Like, it's 2026, bro. You can't be mad at anybody but yourself for signing a deal without having your own lawyer, bro. We've heard so many stories of artists signing to major labels, and the lawyer that read over the contract was a lawyer that worked for the label. That's the stupidest thing you could do, bro. You should have hired your own lawyer. You should have had your lawyer look at the contract. The fact that you believe what the label told you, bro, that's why you in a slave deal, bro. It's too much information out here. This is not the early 2000s where we didn't have social media and the internet and Wikipedia, bruh. Like, everybody knows what major labels do to artists when they sign them, bruh. So he goes on to say, well, it looks like to me, y'all worse than the lawyers. I'm asking as a man, can somebody please help me buy out this situation before I crash out and do something that gets me a life sentence? Because the way I'm going out, it's guaranteed I'm not going to die in the process. I'm not trying to be a bully, but this contract is one-sided as F, and I posted it all. Let me out, or I'm going to spend my entire life to bring y'all down. For all the Mob Ties street guys that got love for me, that I got love for, I hope this don't come between us. But finding out I don't own my masters, I agreed to a partnership. Y'all got me good. Post an Atlantic contract next. So they basically lied to this man and said that they're in a partnership and he owns part of his masters, when really he's in a 360 slave deal. He don't own nothing. And it sounded like Finesse2tymes is thinking about busting a Pooh Shiesty. You know what I'm saying? Like, it sounded like Finesse2tymes is gonna try to, you know, set Jay Prince up, but you're not gonna do that with the Mob Ties, bro. So let's see what else Finesse2tymes had to say in this video. Hold on, check this out.
Especially if the artist had no proper legal advice. But this is not easy to win without a lawyer. So basically, if Jay Prince, the old man, told me don't get a lawyer. And he told me, we ain't gonna even go there and fuck this shit. Advantage and benefits could be used against you. They gave you cash, jewelry, truck, private plane, etc. Yeah, all that paid back. Will go along. That means they'll argue you already got paid, so you owe delivery. So walking away could trigger recoupment claims or even lawsuits. Assignment clause, another trap. Transfer the contract to another label, company, anytime. So basically, they can sign their label over to anybody and I still be with them, basically. That's what they're saying. Can't transfer or escape. Even the next deal, basically. That keeps you locked in. Ownership changes. Okay, real talk.
That jewelry, the advance, right? Like I heard he got a 15K advance when he first signed this deal. He got the mob ties chain. He got the jewelry, right? All of that stuff is not free, bruh. All of that stuff you got to pay back to the label, bruh, through putting out your music and, you know, through how your singles do, how your albums do, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, if he was to try to leave the label, right, they would still own all of the music that he put out with the label. And if he hasn't fully recouped, then if he tried to go sign with somebody else like Pooh Shiesty did, they would still get a percentage of his music. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, 360 deals, man, it's tough because it's like, if you don't, you know, meet the quota of how much they want you to sell, you basically stuck in this deal forever, bruh. And like I said, if you try to do things outside of music, if like say if Finesse2tymes tried to do acting or something like that, or if he got an endorsement deal with Target, the label's making money off of that, bruh. All that money, he got to split that money with the label. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Jay Prince and the mob ties, bruh, like they got that boy in the slave deal.
We go to Atlantic deal. I went through your contract and I'm gonna break it down plain, no lawyer talk, so you can actually understand what's going on and what the power is. Contract overview. This is a deal between Atlantic Records Corporation, the label, Mob Ties Entertainment, artist company, artist Finesse2tymes, Rick and Hamilton. This is a recording deal. Profit share deal, not just a simple distribution. Exclusive deal, very important. The artist is locked in exclusively to Atlantic. Can't record for nobody else. Label controls all music during the contract. This is standard, but very restrictive. Length of contract. This is what labels win. Starts when deal is signed. First term until albums drop, plus 10 months after. Then label has 3 options to extend, meaning label can keep him for up to 4 total periods. Artist does.
Damn, so if Finesse2tymes, like, say his contract is about to be up, right? In this contract, they can extend his contract and make it even longer. You know what I'm saying? Like they can make his contract even longer than what it already is. You feel me? Like if his deal is almost up and they see, okay, we making all this money off of this dude. We done recoup this, we done recoup that. You feel me? Say Finesse2tymes is like, all right, my contract about to be up. I'm about to become independent. I'm about to go sign a distribution deal with Empire. Mob Ties and Atlantic Records could say, nah, bruh, you ain't going nowhere, bruh. You stand with us. We're going to extend your contract for another 5 albums. You're going to be on this label for another 5 years. We making too much money off of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, this is why, bruh, whenever you sign a contract, bruh, you got to have a lawyer to look over that contract, gang. But when you from the trenches and, you know, you ain't never seen 10 bands, 15 bands, and, you know, this is money that could take you out the hood. And, you know, because you got to remember, Finesse2tymes, he's still going to make money off of shows, doing concerts and club appearances. But even that, the label is getting money off of that. Because like I said, when you win a 360 deal, bruh, they make money off of everything you do. The only thing I don't think they making money off with Finesse2tymes is probably his streaming. I don't think it's in the contract that he can't do streaming and make his. I think all that money's going to him. And that's why I think he realized he was in this deal, because Finesse2tymes literally just started streaming. So he probably made more money the first 3 months streaming and going on Twitch and YouTube and Kick than he has for the past 4 or 5 years being signed to Mob Tie. He like, damn, how I made all this money, but I'm putting out all this music. I'm getting all of these, you know, numbers on streaming. My videos on YouTube is doing millions of views, and I haven't even seen $100 off my own music. That's what happens, bro. And Atlantic Records is known for giving people bad deals, bro. We done heard so many stories about people signing to Atlantic Records like they don't make no money off their music, and then when they leave Atlantic, they fall off. It's like Atlantic pretty much guarantees that they fall off. Even when NBA YoungBoy first left Atlantic Records. Remember when NBA YoungBoy first left Atlantic before he went back to prison, and he was putting out music and his songs wasn't doing that many views like it was when he was on Atlantic? That's because Atlantic, bro, when you leave Atlantic, they try to do everything in their power to make sure you fail. But when YoungBoy went to prison and he came out, he got all of his momentum back. And then he start going back to doing all them views and all them millions of views and stuff like that, man. So, you know, shout out to Finesse2tymes, man. Hopefully you can have a conversation with Jay Prince in Atlantic. And listen, maybe you can come to an agreement to buy yourself out of the contract. Maybe if you pay a certain amount of money, you know, they're not going to give your masters back, but maybe you'll be able to just walk away and go sign a new deal, man, or be independent. So let me know what y'all think about this. It's your boy Days. Make sure y'all subscribe, thumbs up the video, click that hype button for your boy. I'm out.